Hello, everyone. Welcome to the 24th episode of Talking Times. Guys, I'm very excited today. I hope you guys haven't felt scared because of the title of today's episode. What the hell are they going to talk about? But I'm here with my ex-student and current friend, Jorge Luiz. Thank you so much, man. And we're gonna have, guys, a very, very, very interesting conversation about self-development, health in general, and don't get scared because of the topic, because today there is a beautiful silver lining. So stay with us until the end, and we're gonna start right after our podcast intro. Go, ladies! Hi, George.
Hello, Mike. It's always a pleasure to be here with you.
Man, we'll have to control ourselves today because let's pretend we are not friends, okay? And because we have a lot of stories here.
Yeah.
Anyways, before we start, please introduce yourself to our listeners.
Firstly, hello, everybody. Good evening. My name is George. I'm a former time student, and I also have done a lot of things in my life. It's always difficult for me to define myself. So I could say that I've studied civil engineering, that I done some courses after, that I studied a lot of stuff. But nowadays, I can define myself as just someone who enjoys life.
Oh my God. Okay, that's already a cut here. See? Yeah, I remember the theme from the book now, man. Well, you certainly have done a lot of stuff. So let's start with the basics, your professional life, okay? How was like graduation, then your first work, and then I don't even know how many things you have done about that.
Yeah, life is crazy and was crazier back then. Well, when I was in high school, I didn't have any idea about what I was going to be studying for the next years.
Mm-hmm.
So I decided to do civil engineering because when I was a kid, I used to play with those rubber carpets. A, B, C, D. So I didn't play just forming words. What I done? I used to build small buildings. Just a carpet here, and create a building. And I also took those yogurt cups, just make some holes in the extremities, just pass a rope through it, and I would create an elevator.
Ah, man, you were really creative since a kid.
Yeah.
Okay, but that's a tough career, right? Engineering, like 5 years worth of studying.
5 years studying, a lot of math, some physics, those huge formula.
Everything that I suck at. And when you were at the university studying that, were you like, okay, this is what I'm gonna do with my life, or the glamour was gone after started studying formal?
Oh. When I went to the university, there was a common joke. When you get out of university with your diploma, you're gonna get a Hilux together. So everybody joke, no, you're gonna have some real money, you're gonna have a good job, etc. And when I was in the halfway through the course, my dad was telling me to do some tests to get a public job.
Okay.
So I went there, I done some tests for some banks, some other institutions, but I was a good student, but I never been a hard study because I didn't went home and keep studying.
Really? Yeah.
I just felt like I could go relaxed and do the tests. And I went to those tests, even university, or even to have a public job. And occasionally, I was approved in one of them.
So wait, you were approved to be a public servant, like, so you did the contest with a lot of people without being like those people that only study 7 hours a day, something like that?
Yeah. I've done it.
Okay, your classmates probably hated you, but that's fine. You know.
That's another story.
Yeah, no, yeah. All right. So how was the first job that you had?
Well,
It was during the university period.
was when I was in the third year.
Okay.
So my job was basically print some IDs, some professional IDs.
Mm-hmm.
Just like a lawyer has a special ID. So I used to print those IDs, be in the front desk, talking to people, getting their documents, and giving them their IDs.
Okay. Did you like it?
At the beginning, no. But because I was really, really shy and I needed to talk to people.
And now you are in a podcast.
Yeah. That's how life's crazy.
Okay. So you were working there. When you finished university, did you have the opportunity to work in the field?
That was when life started to crush me because when I was studying, I thought, I'm going to graduate, so I'm going to find a job in my area. But you get out of university, you see that the market is not that illusion you thought it was.
Yeah, it crushes us in a way. I had a similar feeling when I was doing advertising because I like the creative part of it, but you have some areas there that you have a lot of bureaucracy as well, a lot of areas and topics, subjects that I didn't like. And then I said, man, I can't work in an agency. It's not me, So how was the feeling when you finished university?
Well, I was thinking that I would quit my public job and go to work as a civil engineer. Mm-hmm. But when you see salary, you see, I'm going to change something certain for something uncertain. Mm-hmm. So say, no, I'm not going to do it. And at the time, I was stubborn, which means I went and I'm going to study more. I done a post-graduation.
Okay. So in your mind, well, if I have better qualification in terms of studying, so you have that resume that's like, have done this. Well, I'm going to find a nice job in the field.
Yeah. And
did you get it?
I've done post-graduation.
Okay.
But the job in my area of graduation never came.
You see, I almost did it. Damn.
Yeah.
We are trying not to use the F word today.
Yeah. But of course, if I was really, I really want to do it, I could have found a job, but I would have to accept a lower wage.
Okay.
So I think I work for money. I believe you do as well. Mm-hmm. So where is paying more? And I decided that it was better for me to stay in that public job.
Makes sense. So would you say that one of the things that made you feel a little in doubt of, what am I going to do with my life was the expectation you created before and while in university?
Of course. It was one of the reasons that started to make me feel unsafe and insecure.
Because I remember we have talked about this sometime, that you demand a lot of yourself. You used to say that it's like, I have to do this, I have to do that.
Yeah.
So if you are watching us, I think Jorge can say something better than me about it. We have the illusion that we have everything planned, right?
Yeah.
And you are well today, so it's okay if you don't work where you have spent a lot of years studying. Believe it's more common than you think,
Yeah, the uncommon is to continue working in your graduation area, because the market is vast, is immense, so it needs to fill a lot of spaces. And there is a famous quote that says that if everybody worked in their dream jobs, the moon will be full of unemployed astronauts. Think about it. How many people want to be an astronaut?
Actually, I wanted when I was a kid, but then I matured. I decided to be a soccer player, then rock star,
then an English teacher.
Yeah, it was actually an accident in a way. That's another thing. sometimes because you are trying new things, you eventually discover something that you have a passion,
Yeah.
and that's something amazing about life. So these moments that you were in this first job was while you were already studying with us at times or not yet?
Well,
I'm trying to create a timeline in my
no,
head.
it's my first and only job because I keep working there until now.
Okay.
So I was working there when I was your student.
Okay. All right. And how was the experience when you started studying there?
Well,
You told me a story, the first impression you had about me. What the hell is that guy with that hair?
I remember when you just come in a new place, you just they shy, don't know everybody. Hello there, hello there. Who's gonna be my teacher? And there was Mike and another teacher that was Stefano at the time.
Shout out to you, Stefano.
Long time no see, Stefano.
Yeah.
And both of them were very hairy, just like those old rock stars.
Yeah.
So I looked at them and say, "What the hell is that? Are those guys gonna be my teachers? What am I going to do here?" So I just took some class with Stefano. After some time, some class with Mike. But when we kept having classes and classes, I used to be more comfortable. But as a first moment, I really, really felt a little bit insecure. I say, what?
I used to have this habit, whenever I had new students at the school, we have this big reception with like a U-shaped or L-shaped couch, and the students, we can tell, we are teachers, we train to pay attention in people's body language. If the person is sat like this, in the school reception, in my head it was, okay, it's a pre-class, lesson 1, and I used to go to the reception, remember, all right, guys, who is blah, 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 blah. Now that you are telling me that you were shy, I said, oh, come on, what is he doing? Yeah. You used to enjoy the classes there, the conversations. We had poker classes, philosophy classes. Do you remember anything specific about any class that happened there? A fun story, maybe?
Well, there was some, not exactly grammar, but those pronunciations classes.
Yeah.
At that time, I was a little bit less shy. I was more comfortable. And it wasn't your class, but another teacher was talking about the TH sound.
Yeah.
Now I can do it quite well, but at the time they say you just almost spit.
Yeah, when I was a student, the first sound that was really tough for me when we had that with the r thing, like three. Yeah, throat. This sound was. Eventually, you're gonna master it. Don't worry, guys. Let me take a look at the chat here. Oh, yes. Oh, I posted, guys, in the chat. There is a study there that is all about something that we're gonna uncover today: self-development and how it works and everything that you want to know in an evolutionary perspective. Okay, Diego. Hi, Diego. He's saying here. I thought he was going to say he did the yogurt cup telephone. Not exactly. Hello, Karin. Okay, Marcel is asking here, which field in engineering has a better scope for the future? Like, because engineers like a vast. Which one do you think is, professionally speaking, is better, George?
Well, I'm a long time ago away from that field, so I don't have that knowledge, the actual knowledge. But I can say that some digital engineering or mechanical is more likely to be more profitable in the future because we live in big cities, so everything is already built here. So it's not so likely that we're gonna demand so many buildings. So for civil engineering in big cities, it is really tough. If you go to a small city, a growing city, okay.
It makes total sense. Because people want the glamour of the job. I want to build a bridge.
Yeah.
So when my family is driving, I said, oh, I was responsible for that,
Yeah.
And then say, okay, you have to go to Smallville,
Yeah.
not the real Smallville. You understood, and do simple stuff there, So it makes sense. Going back to the English classes there, something that I told you before, I felt very happy because we used to have some very polemic classes there. Like the topics, we could talk about politics, religion, a lot of topics.
Really.
But they students, and this is something really rare, guys. The guys were so mature that we didn't have conflict. We have like philosophical discussions.
And
Have you had this type of thoughts before? Like,
never.
it was the first time.
I was even surprised. How am I allowed to say it freely and nobody is complaining about it?
We didn't have a cancellation culture back then.
Yeah. Yeah, but it was funny. We would talk about religion, about life and death, life after death. There were some atheists, some religious people in the class, and we could talk about it freely. And I could, for example, disagree with you in the class, but the class is done. Okay, see you, man. The relationship keeps good.
Yeah, we used to do that in poker classes too.
A lot.
Yeah,
A lot.
order foods. I wonder why people love Saturdays there.
I used to enjoy a lot going there in Saturdays, and I was really sad when I came there. And I see, no, it's not a big group to keep talking. I really like those big groups. Not poker by itself, but the experience of chatting with people, feeling that you can talk to other people and not feel shy. Because I used not feeling shy there.
Really?
I was shy outside, but there it's something like if I took out a mask.
Interesting. So the environment was safe for you in this aspect.
It became safer and safer as the months were passing by.
The impression that I had I think I've never told you that, man. But I had the impression that you were introverted but not shy, because you used to be articulated when I asked you a question. You were not like, you wouldn't flinch like, oh my God, the teacher is asking something. You were just, of course, I was like a class clown there, but you were.
Still is.
Yeah, yeah. Beauty. But you used to be introverted but not shy. That was the impression that I had. Well, okay. While you were studying English there, we used to talk about some of the topics that we're gonna cover today. And were you in a bad moment during the course, or was it after, man?
It was through the course, because there were two versions of me. When I got in the middle, and when I left.
Oh, okay.
When I started the course, it's a kind of a funny story, because I can tell you I fell there wearing a parachute. You just fall there almost, because I didn't really want to study English at that moment, because I was talking to myself, no, I don't have time. But there was at a moment a very large portion, I forgot the word. There were so many things happening that made me start the course.
Okay.
Because I could already read a book if I needed, but I couldn't speak like this. So I just needed to practice my speaking.
Okay.
So I went there. I remember that you skipped me half the grammar classes almost, because I knew some grammar and I just needed to talk. And at that moment, I was still in my illusion. I'm going to study, find a job in my area. I was in a older relationship at the time. I was introvert. I just had some friends, some issues in my mind, low self-esteem. But in the middle of the course, I had some problems that came all together. And
you felt overwhelmed.
Yeah, and there were 4 big reasons there, 4 big problems coming right straight at me. And I felt, man, that really put me down.
How old were you, George?
I was 24 at the time.
We are getting old when we have to. Oh my God, let me think.
No, 23. I made 24 later, and I have also a story about it. I'll keep for later.
Okay. And all right, of course, if you feel comfortable sharing with us here, and it's something that we have in common that we discovered that we were going through some dark moments in our lives, these feelings, in almost in a simultaneous way. I think mine was a bit earlier, and people, I don't know if people used to say this, you had that problem, you were depressed. Really? I couldn't tell.
Yeah, many people were shocked at the time. But really, I remember I noticed you being depressed because of some posts on Facebook. And I talked about you. Man, are you okay? Are you all right?
Yeah.
Saying you shared something, but okay. And a month later, I started having some problems because I had at the time a breakup. I had that realization that no, you're not going to work in your area of study.
Okay. So check. I'm seeing what we have in common there. Breakup. Checked.
Yeah.
Professional confusion. Yeah. So. Okay.
And I started to think, no, is this happening because I'm not good enough? So you just start to doubt yourself.
Yeah.
At the time, I had also a health issue that needed a surgery, and I was afraid of the surgery. Man, I really need to go through it.
Okay. So you have professional, the relationship, a health issue, everything happening together.
And also at the time, you start getting older, you start arguing with your parents. It's something common, but when it comes together with all those stuffs and low self-esteem because of the breakup, because, when you finish a relationship, you just feel lost. What I'm going to do? Am I going to find another person?
Yeah. Am I going to die alone?
Yeah. Because at the moment, I was thinking, I had an opportunity to get a relationship. So in my mind, you gotta keep it, do whatever you need to do to keep it, because you're not gonna find someone else. That was my mind back then.
Yeah, it's something that we have talked to, that the root of our problems is this version of reality that we create in our heads sometimes. With me, it was very similar. It was almost 8 years old. You.
I know it.
Yeah, almost 8 years together. And then when the breaking up happening, there was the cancer in my family. You know the story too.
Yeah, you told me.
And I was like, man, my mom has cancer, and one of the most important people in my life, if not the most. The person that was with me, and then the breakup, I said, oh my God, what do I do now? Something interesting that I think here is where we differ a little. During the classes while I was working, I felt happy, in the middle of those moments, because I felt useful, because interacting with students, okay, I'm not a piece of garbage, because people can learn, we're having fun. So if you're going through something similar, this is something that I recommend you to do. Get yourself as busy as possible, So for me, one little shred of hope that I had there was my job, because I felt happy. Time used to fly. The problem was when I was not working, the thoughts. And how did you deal with that, Jorge? Was there a moment that you could say, okay, this was good, I felt happy during that period?
Well, I have some stories about it. For example, when I broke up back then, I just had a small moment of freedom. So I say, no, I'm free. I'm finally free.
Yeah.
And then
I'm single. Now I'm going to have
fun. But what I have done is not the usual. Guys usually go to the bars, to people.
Yeah.
I just booked a flight to Paris. Just all of a sudden.
I remember when you were in Paris.
So I just say, no, I'm going to go to Paris. I remember when arriving home, I was living with my parents back then.
Man, sorry to cut you off, but I had a breakup. I feel sad. I'm going to Paris. Right in Paris.
And it was really
never.
I just opened the computer. Okay, I'm to the flight. And my parents, what? Are you talking seriously?
I'm gonna have a honeymoon without the bride.
Yeah, a honeymoon with myself.
Yeah.
So just went there, visit some museums, the Eiffel Tower, and etc. That was a moment of relief for me.
Ah, okay.
But then when I came back,
Reality was there.
reality
Knock.
was there, and you had the option to feel safe in your job, but I was unhappy because I couldn't find a job in my area. That is what I expected back then. So I needed to feel busy in another ways. And what I've done, apart from taking classes at times, hanging out,
Okay.
beer, alcohol, and stuff.
Ah.
I used to go out every weekend.
Okay. Like Friday, Saturday, Sundays.
Yes, Friday and Saturday.
So you were feeling in pain, and then going out, like drinking, was kind of the escape.
Escape,
I
yes.
think a lot of people
Do
can
it.
relate to
Yeah.
that, huh?
Maybe someone who's you watching us certainly have done it at least once in your lifetime.
Yeah. And when you were like in this hangout, how did you used to feel? Was actually like, okay, I'm in a bar, I'm drinking, I'm happy, or did you have moments even there that you say like, oh, what am I doing with my life?
Yeah, that the second option,
Oh,
because you just sit there, drink. Even I told you about when I'm mistaking the age I had back then, because there is a funny story. At my birthday, when I turned 24, I was there just sitting on the street with my friends, with just some beers here, and I was
you were drinking on the curb.
Yeah, and I just
Whatever.
I was just thinking, oh my man, I'm getting older. I'm old. I'm 24. I'm old. I have studied for nothing. I can't talk to people. I can't talk to girls because of low self-esteem. So my life is done.
Oh, the
That was-
fatalism.
Yeah, fatalisms. So I thought, no, that's the end for me. I'm not going to evolve more. So then it was even a day that I told myself, no, I'm going to stop alcohol. Because I knew it was going to give me some problems.
Man, that's very mature. Even when you were in a difficult moment,
Yeah.
you could have this strength that's rare.
Good alcohol there.
Yeah, and that was very rational and intelligent. It's funny in a way because we do a lot of things, but the obvious thing, like we are not our thoughts. And that's some association that is difficult, to break apart. You are not your thoughts. Your thoughts is just some story that your cortex is telling you. Oh, you are nothing. You are ugly. You are stupid. You are this. You are that. After you take a breath, eventually you start see clearly. Okay, but no cortex from now. Let me take a look at the chat.
No science.
Okay, just a little bit. All right. Mauricio. Hi, Mauricio. Tell about your experience as a student. I've already studied engineering 30 years ago, and it was a deception because there was a lot of theory, few practice.
Yeah.
Old teacher with old learnings or teachings, I imagine. I felt better seeing an engineering video in YouTube than in a class. Damn,
Nothing has changed.
Yeah.
I can answer it with few words. Nothing has changed.
Oh, man. Marianne is saying here, adulthood is scary. A lot of things that you mentioned, Jorge, was because of depression, the pressure that you put on your shoulders as well.
Yeah.
Did you also did therapy, right? Was in that moment?
Yeah, I decided to go to therapy. Even I asked you the contact of the therapist because it was, for example, I broke up in May. I traveled to Paris in October. It started drinking in November, and that was the end of the year. I remember it was a really, really hot summer. So I was hungry, but I didn't feel really the need to eat. So I just thought, no, it's because of the heat. I'm always like that when it's really hot. So the days went by. I say, no, there's something wrong. I'm hungry. There's something here. And I just feel the smell of food and I don't feel like eating. So I say, no, something's wrong. I'm gonna go to a therapist.
That's another thing that was very intelligent and is a real issue with a lot of men, because women in this aspect, they take better care of themselves than we do, because I think I've said this before. Guys treat their own bodies like cars. We only go to the mechanic when something stopped working or making a funny sound. Like, oh, something's wrong. Let's go there. And did you have this resistance too, or for you was more natural? Well, I think I need help and I'm gonna look for it.
I had that resistance before, but I started looking at my life and no, I'm in a desperate situation. It needs extreme measures, so I'm gonna go to a therapist. And let me be clear, I back then considered an extreme measure, but it isn't. If you're feeling really sad and for no reason, go to a professional, go to a therapist.
Yeah, with me it was something similar, now it's interesting because today we can talk lightly about this, but I remember the day that I decided that I wouldn't be here anymore, and people say, oh my God, Mike, you can say something. No, it's in the past. I'm not a ghost, guys. I'm here. I haven't done anything. And funny enough, because of the things I studied, philosophy, neuroscience, I said, well, something is, I don't want to exist anymore. Well, I think something is wrong. I will research what happens in our brain when we're thinking about. Then I researched it, and then I said, oh, is that? Oh, I need help. And then I started doing therapy as well. Really? It was something like this, the day that I decided, and it's crazy, suicide thoughts in a way, after you went, don't take it lightly, but after it's over, you start to think it's ridiculous because you say, oh my God, you start to have these thoughts, what people will see when they find me there, oh my God, what happened, And after you pass, you don't do anything permanent for a momentary problem, and don't forget that your brain is part of your body, you need to give it attention, And how was the therapy for you, George, when you started doing?
At first, it was really uncomfortable because you're getting away from the comfort zone.
Yeah.
She even told me, you're feeling like this because you have chosen the cure, not to prolong the disease.
Yeah.
Let's say like that. So it was really hard to realize that I went there thinking, no, I have these 4 problems. But as the therapy goes down for weeks and weeks, you start realizing, no, I have this issue. I have this, I have this, I have this, and all that stuff. And no, I'm in the bottom of the pit.
Yeah, and what recommendation would you give, man, to somebody that is in a similar situation and is kind of resistant? Oh no, therapy is for crazy people. I have talked to a few psychologists here. Guys, it's an amazing thing. If you feel bad, just look for help. So what would you say to someone that is going to something similar?
Well, first I would say, if you have a headache, you just go to the doctor.
Mm-hmm.
If you break your arm, you go to the hospital. Mm-hmm. You go there, take an x-ray, you get immobilized, etc. But your brain is part of your body.
Yeah.
And it has those connections. Mm-hmm. But if something there is not working very well, if your thoughts are getting too extreme, you just stay there, for example, and you just feel anxious, you just start to sweat. Those are common symptoms.
Mm-hmm.
Go to a psychologist because it is the same thing as you have broken your arm.
Exactly. It's a health issue, right?
And there's no shame because older generations used to think, no, you're a freak, you're crazy. You go to a psychologist, I'm just gonna lock you there because there's no cure.
Yeah.
That was the thinking.
You are completely right, man. And one thing that you have to think is about, remember, you are not your thoughts. So you don't shame people if they had like diabetes or the flu. You have a something there is not working properly. It's that simple. How was your relation with social media during this phase? It helped. It was like worse for you, increased the
I,
problem.
well, I didn't use social media for since so often.
Hmm.
So I didn't post pictures, post lifestyle, etc.
Hmm.
Because I didn't even have a lifestyle. But you start looking at those people having perfect lives and you
Yeah.
say, no, look at this person. He's making money, he's married, he's traveling, he has a lot of friends, and I'm here. So you start comparing your real life with that fictional life
Hmm.
that you think is real.
It's
And
true.
you just, your self-esteem goes down like a submarine.
The old version of that is the dinner table where the mother, oh, your cousin is making blah blah blah.
Yeah, that's it, that's
And
it.
then I say, I'm not my cousin.
Yeah, yeah,
All
yeah.
right, a lot of people sending message here in the chat. Hi Felipe, hi Mauricio, hi Leticia. Okay, Felipe saying here, my friends who already work at factories used to understand very much better what the professor was talking about. Okay, about the engineering thing.
Yeah.
Do you finish graduating in engineering? I quit. Okay, Mauricio here. Leticia is asking, how did you get rid of your depression, George?
Well, that was something I would say at the moment my psychologist helped me a lot, but it was something like a jump in the dark
Okay.
because suddenly my mind started to think like that. Okay, I'm done, there's nothing else to do. I'm starting to thinking about.
Yeah.
So even those thoughts were coming and coming and coming. I remember once I posted on that WhatsApp status, what would you say to someone who's thinking about?
Yeah.
And a lot of people, don't do it, don't do it. So I felt, no, well, I'm starting to let people know about. Now I know I was unconsciously asking for help.
Yeah, this is another important thing.
You start, when you feel bad, you don't realize it, but you start asking for help.
Yeah, and it was funny because you said that you noticed that I was bad because of something that I was posting.
Yeah, I
But
realized
at the moment, for me, it was so normal. We have this nihilistic view of the world, like nothing matters. One thing that you can do, with people you love and are close to you, always think what is behind that smile, because a lot you depressed people, they don't seem to be depressed. They
they
kind
are
of have the social mask.
faking a smile sometimes. You can see that most happiest person in the room is happy talking about everything else.
Yeah.
But inside that person is really holding on, and all that so forced happiness is just to mask what's inside. But asking the question how I got rid of depression, it was a thinking. I don't know if it was something that psychologists told me and I just got in my mind, but it was like that. Okay, you're thinking about doing this.
Mm-hmm. It's the worst thing that can possibly happen when you are alive.
So if you're just thinking about doing it, so you are on the bottom of the pit. It cannot get worse than that, because if you do it, game over.
Yeah.
So it was something like, okay, so do whatever you want because it cannot get worse. So I started getting bolder, taking risks, taking decisions without being afraid of rejection, etc. I stopped caring about other people's opinion.
That's very difficult to do.
Yeah, but it was in a short time, and even at the time, I was scared because I started to solve a lot of those problems at once. I've done the surgery. I, at the moment, started living in my own apartment. I quit my parents' home.
So you had your moment of peace there, your own space.
Yeah, about professional, it took me a long time to understand that it was okay to go through another path. And now I realize that I've done a right path because it worked for me. I will get along it by the end of the video, but But that's how I can say I got over it. I just thought, if I'm thinking about getting away from this world,
Mm-hmm.
it cannot get worse than that. I'm the bottom of the pit. So whatever I do, it can only go up.
Man, it was very similar to what happened to me.
Really?
Yeah, in a way. Like I said, that's the worst possible thing that can happen. So, if you are in a moment, I thought like that. Well, I am in a moment of my life that like is the worst moment ever. So that's one side of the coin. And then I imagine, well, if I continue existing, maybe I could have a glimpse of what is on the other side of the coin. And guys, the other side of the coin is amazing. It's amazing, beautiful. So after you finish your course, we became friends, and
Yeah.
that's I would say I'm blessed because since I work with a lot of people, eventually they become friends. And here's one
Yeah.
example. And in what moment of your life was that when you finished the course and we started hanging out and doing other things?
It was, let me just remember. I was already living by myself. It was after the thunderstorm.
Okay.
The thunderstorm
So
was
you
in
were
the middle.
on your way up.
Yeah, starting to get my way up.
All right.
So I started to, with help, professional help, just
Okay.
to put everything in its own place in my mind.
Okay.
And I started to understand the world as it is. As someone say in the chat, adulthood really is tough.
Yeah. It
So
is.
I accepted it. Okay, it's tough, but I gotta face it.
Yeah. And did you because because you have done that self-development course too, but I put my life in some boxes like, oh, because of the Maslow pyramid and then
Yeah.
the other study, I have to fix this aspect. Oh, were you doing something similar? Like, okay, professionally is like that, and then I need to be more sociable. How was this development period for you in that moment?
Well, I didn't know about the Maslow pyramid
Mhm.
before that course we made,
Yeah.
but I was just fixing things in my life, but I had no priority. I had no real strategy.
Mm-hmm.
I just started to feel good by myself, and I just let it roll. Just let it.
Because
keep
I
going.
remember when we used to hang out, you didn't drink alcohol because you were driving, And
Yeah.
I had a similar habit too, so you were very responsible. Back then, I remember that I was smoking, was a period that it was one of my scapegoats. Oh, I used to go out alone, so I have to do something. I'm gonna lit up a cigarette, and no,
I've done it. Few people know it, but I've done it for a short time.
Oh, good thing you
I wa-
haven't stick with it.
I was in a bar and I saw everybody just going to the smoking area.
Exactly.
So it looked so cool. Those people, the guys talking to the girls, etc. So I just said, I'm gonna do it. There was some friends smoking, so I pushed the cigarette here. I had another friend beside me, and he looked, what the hell are you doing, man? I was just there pretending I to be smoking, but I didn't really know how to smoke.
You
I
didn't
just there.
inhale it. Was
Yeah, I couldn't do it. I
Oh,
just
good.
there, just pretending.
Yeah,
But-
we used to have this habit, and I'll be completely honest, for you maybe it was the same. I said, well, every time I go alone to the smoking area, I meet some girls and I meet some people because they have a lighter. Oh, hello. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it was it's an excuse to socialize
Yeah,
with
you
people.
you just have a common topic there.
Yeah.
And it was something I was thinking at the time because I was shy and introvert and I couldn't talk to people. When you see yourself single, just hanging out with friends,
Yes.
you see your friends getting along with someone else and you're just there watching. You say, come on, there's something wrong with me.
Okay, so let's just start showing them the second part of the coin. Something that me and George used to do. I was single at the time, don't judge me, and he was single too.
Yeah.
So we used to go to some bars.
Yeah, a lot.
And I remember that when I was organizing that self-development course, I said, George, do you want to be my first student?
Okay.
and you said very like promptly, okay, let's do it, let's go. So one thing that I guess this is one of the keys that you could overcome such a difficult thing. You were always open to new things. That's something very nice about you, George. But then we used to go to the place and say, all right, we need to socialize. So the thing was like that. We used to enter in a place, okay, we need to talk. In 1 minute, we need to talk to 5 people. Do it. And starting with the bouncer, you know, bouncers, they are like those guys, like the size of a refrigerator, always with that frown face. And we arrive into the place, my friend, hello. Oh my God, nice hair, man.
And that guy was bald. I've done it once.
Or the guy would punch me, or we would make friends. And the second thing happened. So we started to feel comfortable, right? What was it difficult for you, man, to get out of the comfort zone? Because I remember once I said, oh, that girl is cute. What do you think? Yeah, she's cute. Go there, talk to her. And say, oh, okay, let's go.
You just feel the adrenaline going high, because when back then I believe most of the men fear rejection.
Oh, yeah.
For them, taking a no as an answer is the end of the world. So they think they're gonna die. Okay, if I say, no, I liked you, and the girl say no, I believe they think, no, I lost my hand. The idea is permanent. Man, just a no, come on.
You're gonna have so many no's that when you have a yes, I never got to this point.
Right?
What do I do now? And oh, hello, I like you too. And are you sure? Man. And okay, for the people that are also introverts, how did you? Now you can share some stories about that period. Just don't share that one that I started vomiting and I was bad, and I did.
Let's keep it a secret.
Yeah, don't share that.
Everybody just don't talk to anybody, okay?
Oh yeah. But it was not because of alcohol. It's because I decided to eat the pickled potato in a very underground bar. I was hungry, and then it was right through my stomach and my liver. Anyways,
we're lucky to be alive.
Yeah, here we are. But what advice, George, would you give to people that are also introvert and they want to become more social? They want to be the people that go to a place full of strangers and can make friends, or even it's okay if you're single, you want to meet somebody. What could you tell to these people?
Well, my advice is more directed to men, because we are men, so we have the experience. For women, I don't know if it works really well.
For women, you have to go there and smile.
Because
be open to meet people.
I will not say it's easier, but it's different. But for men, I believe, for guys, when you just see a beautiful woman in front of you, you just start shaking.
Yeah.
How old are you? What's your name? You just lose your voice.
Yeah.
And I think the first step to do is don't go straight to this goal. Go, for example, your neighbor, some people in the bus stop, your
micro interaction.
Hello there, good morning. There are always those old ladies in the street.
Oh yeah, they want to talk.
They want to talk.
Just to people. Talk to old people. Yeah.
Just talk to them and start feeling comfortable. And another thing is find common topics to talk about. For example, if I didn't know you here, but I have no idea about who you are. Here in the studio, we have a lot of things. For example, game. Nintendo. I can ask about, have you played Nintendo when you were a child?
I have.
I don't know you, but we can start a conversation. So you are in the bus stop, just waiting for the bus. You can just say, this bus is late, isn't it? Something random.
This bus is late, isn't it? It's gonna be worth of 20 or 30 minutes conversation.
Yeah, it can be. Yeah. You just keep going. And for example, you are in a school, you can find some common topics. It's the same story as going to the bar and asking for a lighter. But you can really do it in in every place. So you are in a bar. taken to a next level, in a place when you can really meet new people, not just girls relationship, but some friends, even talk to other guys, because you need friends as well.
Yeah.
You find something, oh, this guy's hair is different, it's nice, you go there and take a compliment.
I remember we were in a pub once. There was these two guys talking. It was me and a friend. You know him, Luis. Shout out to you, Luis.
Yeah.
Most extroverted guy I've ever known in my life.
Learned a lot.
So we was there. The guy was wearing very nice pair of boots, and I just said, "Man, nice boots." He was a bit shy, like, "Oh, thank you. Oh, I got it." Blah 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 blah. And then he looked at me. "Oh, you have nice boots." We started talking about whatever. It is that simple. Like you said, George, micro interactions and be open to meet people. And whenever you go to the point that people just don't want to talk to you, you said, okay, have a nice day. And then you go on with life. There will be people there that will be open, and you will meet them and make this connection. It's going to feel amazing, you know. And I remember when we were in a place and you met a friend of mine.
Yeah.
You know?
She's watching us, by the way.
Oh, shout out to you, Ingrid. You know? And before we go there, George, because that's another thing that changed.
Yeah.
How many things have you done? Let's start after the whole turbulence and you started being open. You've done a cooking class.
Cooking classes.
And he has taught a cooking class back in John Boy School. It was nice.
I taught an apple pie.
Yeah.
I remember well.
Yeah.
Nice experience.
Yeah.
Well, let's say I started to create a lifestyle.
Okay.
Because, for example, when you see a celebrity in any field, for example, let's mention Messi. When you hear the name Messi, what's your first thought? Football or soccer?
Yeah.
You think about LeBron James, basketball.
Okay.
So when I talk about, for example, Maick, what do I remember? For example, English class.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I just keep the
All right, thank you, man.
dark side away. But you just need to create something that when people think about you, they always relate, connect. It is a lifestyle. But I didn't want to be the guy that goes to the party with a lot of drinks in my hand, a nice car, etc.
Yeah, the ostentation, heart of the party guy.
I don't have money to do it.
Yeah.
Thankfully, I don't have, because if I had a little bit of less neurons, I could have done it if I had money, but no, I didn't.
Or maybe you would be in Paris, who knows?
No, but I started to have a diet, because I took a shock about one blood exam I've done, blood test. I say, no, I need to eat healthy food.
Okay.
I've done this. I had a very low self-esteem because of acne, those things, red dots in the face. So I started taking a medicine, a very strong medicine.
Yeah.
Another reason that I couldn't drink for more than a year. Because that medicine you really cannot drink, or your kidney goes away.
Okay. It was a good thing then. Yeah.
I done the cooking class.
You started doing a lot of healthy exercises too, running, workout, right?
Yeah, I was at first I was really afraid of getting to the gym. So I said, no, I'm weak. Look at this real arm that I have, and those guys, they are all strong.
Oh yeah.
But I think, no, I'm gonna do it. So I went to the gym. I started running, but running was because I was bored in the pandemic, so I didn't know what to do. And I just, I'm gonna run. And I run until now.
Okay, this is gold. One of the most important thing that people don't isolate yourself. Get out of your room computer and go to the real world and do stuff. Find a hobby, find something you're really passionate about, because along the way you're gonna find people who also love it. For example, a group, right?
Yeah, let's pretend we start playing Nintendo here. I'm gonna use this as an example.
We can do later.
We can play here, and someone arrives here. Oh, nice! I haven't played this for a long time. Okay, come along. So we can socialize. And I started to have those habits, and I started to post it on social media.
Mhm.
So my goal was to connect with people that had the same interests. I also started to travel more, explore new cities, new places.
Yeah, I see this on your Instagram. You are
Yeah, I focus about it.
It's a lot of nice place. I use your Instagram sometimes as a traveling guide. Okay, let me
Ah.
see. Get it? Okay, that's a nice place. I'm gonna, put this on my list. Um, we used to talk a lot about girls and dating. And how is this aspect of your life today, George?
Well, it is completely different because I'm in a relationship for 2 years.
Shout out to you, Ingrid.
Yeah. We're a really nice person.
Yeah, she's.
She is. So it was a friend of yours. So I knew, if she is his friend.
She's crazy too. No.
No, so I said, I already have a good recommendation. So let's try it. And it was a funny day. That one.
was nice. When I saw you guys talk, I said, okay, I am the third wheel. I need to get out of here.
And you know that you gave me the hint. You know it.
Yeah.
You know it.
And you know what was the connection there? It was Paris, remember?
Really. He suddenly came when, you just meet someone in the
Best
party.
wingman.
Well, hello there. You say your names, etc.
I said to her, have you met George? No, I'm joking.
No, he just told me, you haven't told me about that trip you've done to Paris, because he knew she also went there. So at that moment, he has done a connection. I was going to ask you if she was single, but I didn't need to because I understood you. So I say, okay, let's keep the conversation going. And it happened.
Yeah, nice. Okay, let me take a look at the chat here. All right, people, if you are watching this, like the video, share the video. It helps the channel to grow. Yeah.
Give him cookies, please.
Please, I want cookies. All right. Okay. Engineering course seems like a reality show that if you pass the test, which don't make much sense, you are actually a resilient person who knows how to solve problems. That's a good idea for a reality show. Claudio said, great and important conversation. Thanks, Claudio. Which is basically what makes an engineer versatile to work in an industry or in a I imagine a lot of mishappenings every day.
Yeah.
Okay, Marianne is asking, have you ever called the CVV for help? You went straight to the therapy right there.
Yeah, I went straight to the therapist, but I Googled how to do that, and Google shows the help channel.
Oh, okay, that's good.
Very good. I didn't need to call it, but I knew if things got really, really tough, I would call it.
Good thing that you went straight to there. Yeah. Philip saying here, it seems like a video game that you need to solve puzzles and defeat the boss, some old professors.
Yeah.
And his tricks, yeah.
Really?
So Mauricio is saying the engineering was the source of the depression. I don't know if it was the engineer, but it was more like the version of reality you had.
Yeah,
right? I have to be this or that.
No, because nowadays I know because I had bad experiences in childhood because of bullying, etc. So you just see yourself in a different way. So if you feel always threatened, you just think, why are people doing this to me? So I'm a weirdo. I didn't see myself as a human at all in my teenage times. So I thought, no, I'm different. I'm a freak. And
I think this is why we became friends, man.
Yeah.
You know, my friends, I always go for the crazies and the weirdos because behind the social mask, there is always a nice story to be told. You know?
And exactly because I was so rejected back then, I had this need to be good in everything. So this is why I demand so much from myself.
Makes sense.
That is the root.
And it's nice that you have the answer.
Yeah.
It's nice that you have the answer. What do you expect for the future, George? What do you want to happen in your life?
Well, as everything happened after the moment that I got out from the bottom of the pit, for me is a profit. So being here is a huge profit because I'm turning some really dark moments in a podcast and everybody's laughing here. So it's something incredible.
Yeah, yeah.
I just wanted to continue this, improve myself, see how far my body can go. I want to continue working out, continue running.
You're going on a marathon in a few days, huh?
It's not really a marathon, it's 10 kilometers.
No,
It's
I
a quarter
cannot, I
of a
cannot
marathon.
run 10 meters. So 10 kilometer looks like from here to Narnia.
Yeah, I just want to see, find my limits. If there is a limit, I don't know.
Yeah.
In a professional way, nowadays, answering many people talking about engineering, nowadays I have a good position in another profession. I work with finances, I negotiate debts, and I lead a team of 9 people.
You lead the team.
I'm leading a team.
The shy guy.
Yeah.
Now you're a leader.
And I'm a leader. So you need to inspire people, talk to
Yeah,
people,
that's very
have
beautiful.
this social skill. It's I am today someone I never thought I would become.
And I'm very happy to be a little part of that story and to know me.
You have a small footnote in my book.
Man, that's very nice to know. I feel flattered. Unfortunately, we are running out of time. Yeah, you know how before we go, man. Final message to our listeners. How is life for you today? What do you want to tell them?
Well, I can only tell you that life has no script. As this video has no script. We have a script here. Do you really think we followed? No, we have not followed. And it was okay. And also your life. You, for example, you can today think, no, I'm gonna do this, but life pushes you another way. It's okay. You don't have a straight line to follow. You don't have to be born, grow up, graduate, get married, have kids, and die. It's not a straight line. You can work your own way. Don't compare yourself to others, especially in social media. Sometimes I talk to myself, no, I'm gonna stop using for a while. Just don't open Instagram for too long because you just see those beautiful pictures. It's not a real life. As some people, I believe, can look at my Instagram and think, oh, he has a perfect life. It isn't.
The grass is always greener.
Yeah, because I can suffer this because of others, and someone may be suffering because of why I post. My life is not perfect. I'm not gonna post problems on Instagram, as you also are not gonna do it. So we always share good stuff, but our life is not a straight line of good things. Bad things need to happen so we can give value to the good ones.
It makes total sense. Nice. I couldn't say it any better, man. Very happy to have you here, Jorge. Guys, thank you so much for sending questions and messages in the chat. Don't forget, we'll be posting these episodes weekly. And again, if you feel bad, you're not alone. A lot of people went through it, and I hope one day you can also share a beautiful story on how you overcame whatever you are going through. Okay, so look for help, and see you on next week on our next episode of Talking Times. Bye bye.